I always wanted to like go up in space and be an astronaut, like any kid, like any boy, and you know, like meet alien life from another planet. Maybe I still will. Maybe, you know, like maybe planets exist the way we do, and it's flat and infinitely expanding, caused by temperatures meeting, like cold and hot or heat from underneath, and then forming this ice belt. And then there's geothermal pockets across it, you know, with little celestial lights that roam around these magnetic north poles. And then there's people living on these disks or these planets, whatever, whatnot. But for me to not create an exchange with another human being in my lifetime while I watch this deception continue and everybody invisibly worship a painting like some sort of religious icon, because that's what it is. No one's ever going to see it at that distance, and yet it's taken for granted. That's it. Yeah, that's the Earth. But they're never going to go to the North and South Pole. Well, the South Pole is really how this conspiracy works, because it's really 360 degrees around our continents, which huddle around the North Pole.
We know that you're very vocal these days about this topic.
I also became very vocal to protect myself.
When is the first time you actually spoke about it?
Live?
To another person? It was live?
No. Well, at first I had a girlfriend. We're no longer together. She worked for the government, and she was actually there. She was at the party when the power went out, and then this conversation happened. And so, if she wasn't there, and then I came home and told her this, she would have thought I was nuts. But because there was some very influential, highly placed government officials working internationally, I had someone to exchange with on this concept. Our relationship collapsed. It didn't work for other reasons, but the exchange of like the fascination, the discovering, it was literally like discovering a whole new planet, and the romance of Columbus and how things really work, energy, science, temperature, how much land is there. Like, is everybody just following GPS corridors in the oceans and in the air? Yes. Do all the commercial flights hub through the northern hemisphere? Yes. And finding out how they plug all these holes so no one will find out. I bounced it through a few people who had very high praise in my talent, and I had to explain to them very, very precariously, because I didn't want them to know I was actually doing graphics for them. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that I was actually working for them doing freelance graphics, you know, because it's perjury. It's basically I'm putting my neck out, and I'm also like apparently putting the national security of the country or the nation or the agency at risk by talking about, you know, the projects I was on. I was just making paintings of outer space.
Some people tend to believe that you're talking this way, you're proposing such a thing just to attract the attention.
Big time. The more people that hear me say this, the more time I'm buying for myself.
So you don't mean it, you just want to attract the attention? Is this what you're saying?
I'm trying to live, protect myself, and also...
what do you need to protect yourself?
I think the more people know this, the better off they'll be, humanity will be. Look, it's been 500 years. People go, wow, you're telling me to go, not only go back 500 years when we used to think it was flat, actually it was way before that. And I mean, everybody's in a dream. Their reality is from the military. This cannot continue. The militaries of this world are what is dividing and conquering everybody in these little eugenics events they call world wars. And basically, instead of rounding up people and then firing them because they're stupid and there's too many of them and they're eating everything, why don't you just let them know there's more land?
Do you think you're reacting right now the way they planned you would react?
I don't know.
How do you think they were
hoping I would react?
Yes.
Well, I think that they were hoping that I would like laugh and be part of the group, the illuminated, and all right, so let's have a good like slap on the back and let's see how far we can take this lie and keep it from them while we.
How far do you think they would have sent you in the other direction if you would have?
I don't know what
left?
they were planning. They could have used me to, I don't know, maybe stage a false alien invasion, mixing fantasy visuals with android technology or nanotechnology. There's fusion going on too with smoke and mirrors. It's not just illusion with images, and there's actual technology going on here. So when you're fusing the two together, I mean holographs in the sky, hologramic events.
You were talking earlier about the need to protect yourself. Why would you need to protect yourself now that you have
I went vocal because I decided to keep this within the council of people that I trust, and then basically get my argument and take stock of everything that just happened. And once I knew how I was going to what was really going on, what happened to me, what they were planning, and what has been done for the past 500 years, then it was about sharing counsel with very, very smart individuals close to me and developing a way to release this worldwide. Through
comedy, for example.
Pretty much.
How could we take you seriously since you're a stand-up comic now?
Well, I think the key here is you don't take me seriously. It's just a show, and we're in a free society. So I should be allowed to say whatever I want.
So where do you stand, would be my next question. Do you think it's funny? Do you want to play with people's mind? Or you do believe it?
It is extremely funny. On many levels.
Such as?
Pick the one you want. Well, it's funny for them because they're laughing at everybody. It's funny for me because I get to laugh at them failing at fooling the world, and I'm letting them in on it. It's funny for me to know and anticipate how the Star Trek, NASA-phile, Einsteinian astronaut nerds are going to react to me proposing this. And then already knowing their comments, their stupid insults, their fanatic reactions when they can't handle what I'm saying. So it's funny in that level. So it's like every day I wake up, I open up the NASA channel, I look at the comments, and I'm literally battling zombies that are coming at me.
What is the worst comment we've ever made? Any insults or threats?
Well, I find that now there's always the generic get your tinfoil hat or put your tinfoil hat, and they all think they're original. I don't approve those comments. I do approve comments on it. I penned for approval because I just want a debate. I don't want fanatics like Star Trek fanatics or heliocentric Einstein Newtonian freaks who just repeat what they were told in some school program and never went anywhere in a fucking rocket or at NASA insulting me. So I keep the debate. And if you have like a conventional response to what I'm saying, I will show you the other way.
Yes, and in
But when it comes to threats, I find that just completely freaky. And now, since I've been doing this, I've been taking this worldwide in front of audiences, now there's inadvertent sort of threats on my life being made. Like, you will die, accidents will happen.
How do you deal with this?
I deal with it like I'm dealing with a fanatic. Because a fanatic is someone who will have an irrational, highly negative emotional borderline violent reaction to just questioning their belief system.
And we have also other people we see on your channel that consider you a leader. They see you almost as a guru. How do you take this?
I'm no guru. I'm willing to be a leader. It's not a role that it's work.
What would be the general message, since you're a leader, according to the work you made already and the research you made?
I wait for the day where everybody will throw out that religious symbol called the globe. The globalists all stop.
How do you see it as a religious symbol?
Well, when you have that kind of fanatic reaction to saying it's not that, and you actually stand your ground proving how it's clever events orchestrated by one group to support Newton, Copernicus, and the fact that we actually go around the sun, and don't go snooping around Antarctica unless you're a scientist approved by the Southern Treaty Project. You start to realize, what was your question?
I don't even remember. I was thinking about the other one. It was your message. No, how do you see it as a religious symbol?
Well, a religious symbol is you hand over your reality to a higher power or an authority to tell you the way it is in an area you'll never see.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never see as a globe.
Do you just consider this topic being a topic, or it literally changed your lifestyle daily?
It changed everything in my wiring and my imagination.
How?
Things became bigger. Things became new. Things became mine to discover. Things became romantic, infinite, more complex, and more beautiful. But things became infinite. As infinite as that flat horizon my eyes see and have seen since I was a boy, a baby. And it goes as far as the blue, like the Mayans said. Like the Egyptians believed, like all those primitive ancients who built complex pyramids believed.